so glad that you are here today. And if you haven't met me yet, I am Reverend Mitzi from originally from London, England, and I live in Tempe, Arizona. And actually, I live in Phoenix, Arizona, but I serve as the minister of the Unity Church in Tempe, Arizona. So I bring you greetings from Unity of Tempe. And whenever we gather together, it supports us in refueling and deepening spiritually. Connecting with spirit and with one another is how we keep our spirits filled, how we stay grounded. And it helps us remember who we are, who we truly are, and what we are here to do. So your presence, please know, is a blessing. Not only for you, but also for every single person here. And so I've incorporating a few things in the few weeks I've been here to from Unity of Tempe, and we've been saying them together. So I invite you to say with me, follow after me, I am pro-kindness.
I am pro-kindness.
Pro-peace.
Pro-peace.
Pro-equality.
Equality.
Pro-love. Pro-inclusion.
Inclusion.
Pro-hope.
Hope.
Pro-diversity.
Diversity.
Yes. And our unity principles, we remember them with UMPA, omnipresent,
Omnipresent.
oneness,
Oneness.
mind,
Mind.
prayer, and action.
Action.
Yes. And then we do something, our community, we say, and we say it first of all for ourselves. So you can say, whether you're here for the first time or you've been here many times, you say, I am a cherished light.
I am a cherished light.
In my community.
My community.
Shining with divine love and purpose.
Shining with divine love and purpose.
Beautiful. Now turn to someone who's close to you and tell them. Say, you are a cherished light in our community. In our community. Shining with divine love and purpose.
Divine love and purpose.
Beautiful. And so we are all cherished lights wherever we serve, wherever we are, shining with divine love and purpose. And then we like to say the Celtic version of the Lord's Prayer. And so we say together, holy, you know what? I'll read this. Holy One, beyond all names, eternal wellspring, may love rise again in us today, with food for every table, shelter for every family, and reverence for every life. Forgive us our failings in love and free us from all falseness, that the light of our souls may shine and the strength of our spirits endure for earth and all its people, this day, tonight, and forever. Amen. And so it is. And then we love to say, and I invite you to say this together after me, may all beings be peaceful.
May all beings be peaceful.
May all beings be well.
May all beings be well.
May all beings be safe.
May all beings be safe.
May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature.
May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature.
May all beings be free.
May all beings be free.
And we love the prayer of St. Francis. So I'm going to read this, and I invite you to make this your meditation for this moment. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring love. Where there is injury, let me bring pardon. Where there is doubt, let me bring faith. Where there is despair, let me bring hope. Where there is darkness, let me bring your light. Where there is sadness, let me bring joy. Oh, divine teacher, let me not seek as much to be consoled as to console. To be understood as to understand. To be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Amen. Deep breath. I love the prayer of St. Francis. If we all lived by this fully, what an amazing world. If every single human being lived by that and all beings be peaceful and all things, would be an amazing world. And we get to create the world that we live in, as we know. So this is my third Sunday here as your minister in residence. And it has been another wonderful week for Ron and
Is my phone loud?
And oh my goodness, I love this city so much. J'aime Montreal. Très bien. So we went to St. Joseph's Oratory. Oh, I was prepared to walk the 280 steps. I had no idea, but I didn't. I found out. First of all, I went around the thing that you go up like this. Then I found there were escalators. So that was great. What a beautiful, amazing, and surprising place, because you go in, when you finally get up to the top, you're expecting something very old and ornate, and you go in and it's like, this is a surprise. Quelle surprise, right? Oh my goodness, beautiful, loved it. Had a beautiful time there. We went back to the Musée des Arts, des Beaux-Arts, so fabulous. And we went to Shakespeare in the Park. We could not be dissuaded because it got rained out, il pleut, but it actually didn't rain. They canceled, no rain. But then we went. And so thank you, Anna and Lisa, for joining us. Amazing. Last performance tonight, if it doesn't rain, it is at Westmont. I encourage you to go. It's phenomenal. Anyone else go to see it? Nope. Yes. Oh, it's fabulous. Yes. Wonderful. And Winter's Tale is a challenging play, and they did a great job of it. And so lots of other things we've been doing. Yesterday, we went to Ingrédients. I can't say it.
Angry Onion.
Angry Onion. There you go. Liked it. Well, the park was incredible. You come out of the metro, and there you are.
Yeah.
It's like the Bois de Boulogne or something, right? So beautiful, amazing. I love it. So this morning we are continuing our series, The Blueprint of Being, and we continue journeying through Max Ehrmann's amazing poem, Desiderata. And it brims with practical wisdom for living with balance, dignity, compassion, and hope. So if you were not here, or even if you were here, we're going to do a little refresher just of the poem itself, not of the message. You can find those on our YouTube channel, Unity Centre of Montreal. So the poem that so far we have read, go placidly amid the noise and the haste, and remember what peace there may be in as far as possible without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth loud, quietly, and clearly, and listen to others, even to the dull and the ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself to others, you may become vain or bitter, for always there will be greater or lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. So that sets our foundation for where we've gotten up to. And so we learned that peace is possible even in the midst of chaos, and self-worth is inherent, and goodness endures. Thank God, goodness endures, right? But Ehrman knows that these truths, they're not always easy to live by, as indicated in today's section of the poem. Be yourself. Especially do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. That sounds like something you see on a t-shirt, right? Who wants to be gentle with yourself? Or be yourself. Be yourself. Who wants be yourself on their t-shirt? Yes, we want to be ourselves. But you know what? More than just in the poem, it's actually a spiritual directive. But so what does it mean to be yourself? Well, in Unity, it means be the divine spark that is expressing uniquely as you. No one else can be that divine spark at all. It's your job to be you and fully you. Your true self, it's not fixed identity. It's not a fixed identity. It is a prism, a beautiful prism through which spirit keeps finding new ways to shine. Be yourself means to be the unrepeatable expression of the divine that you are. And it sounds wonderful. It sounds magnificent. Be yourself. And it can be challenging because many of us discovered early in life that being ourselves wasn't always safe. And it wasn't always accepted by others. So we learn to become who other people needed us to be. Anyone ever? It's okay. No one's looking. I'm the only one who sees your hand. Maybe one person online. So yes. Yeah. I came from a challenging family situation myself. And it was challenging for me to be myself growing up. More about that later, because there's a lot here. And I want to make sure I honor our time. I have to turn my little clock on to see where we are. Oh, okay, we're good. All right. So spiritually, to be yourself is to stop living from other people's expectations. And it is to stop shrinking or inflating depending on the situation. To be yourself is to have the courage to inhabit your own life. Now, it takes courage to let go of those roles and expectations imposed by others, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. And especially because we love external validation. We're kind of hooked on it a little bit, even if we say, no, You know, we all like to hear, well done, good job, you did a great job, thank you. We love that. It takes courage to let the light of our spirit shine through our life and not the life anyone else thinks we should be living. But when we start living authentically, we stop comparing ourselves and we stop contrasting ourselves or contorting. I like to call that Gumbying. You know, that little green figure Gumby? You know, I had one of those when I was a child. And a friend bought me one many years ago, again, because I'd lost it, of course. And but that Gumbying, you're fitting into someone's box, or you're trying to be bigger than you are. And it allows us, when we start live authentically, we stop trying to do that. And we begin to live from our spiritual authenticity. So I invite you to think just for a moment, and think about this coming week. Where in your life are you called to deeper authenticity? Now we move to especially do not feign affection. Now, to feign means to imitate a feeling or an action. It's to pretend. It is saying, I'm fine, when you are anything but fine. Do you do that in Canada? Who does that? Yeah, we do that in the US, you know, especially at grocery checkout line, because after all, who wants to hear the story of how you're not fine when you're just getting groceries, right? You know, so we do that. We say we're fine. And we learned, many of us, that being agreeable and keeping the peace kept us safe. And pretending became a survival strategy. But pretending does something to us spiritually. It disconnects us because we lose track of what we are actually feeling. And we create relationships that look good superficially, but they don't really fully nurture us. And this can create a big turbulence inside of us, because what we're doing is abandoning ourselves, and we become actors in our own lives rather than participants. And I think we can all say we've at some point in our life been an actor in our life. But from a metaphysical perspective, pretending blocks the flow of divine love. And this is not because God withholds anything, but because we are not open. We're like, I'm pretending. I'm not being vulnerable and letting my true self out. So I am blocking the flow of love and divine love. Is there anyone here who wants to block that flow? No, we want the flow of divine love in our life. Spirit can only move through us to the degree that we are willing to be authentic. And when we are honest and vulnerable with ourselves and with others, love is given space to flourish, and our relationships deepen, and our compassion becomes genuine. Where in your life have you in the past, or are you now feigning affection? Next line. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Now, cynicism, it is often born of disappointment or from betrayal or from loss. And rather than keep us safe, it blocks the flow of spirit and the channels through which love could reach us. I love this poem so much, Desiderata, because Ehrman in this section does not pretend it's all easy. He names aridity and disenchantment, and then he gives us a poignant metaphor. Love is as perennial as the grass. In Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman, he uses grass as a metaphor for democracy and the interconnectedness of all life. Grass is resilient, it survives drought, maybe not in Phoenix, but it survives drought and trampling and neglect. And it returns each season. Maybe here in Montreal, you don't see the grass for a while because it is covered with la neige. Yeah, la neige, right? And so, but it comes back, and there it is. The grass is out there again. And ecological studies show that grasslands, though vulnerable to disturbance, possess remarkable capacity for recovery because of deep roots and the ability to adapt to changing conditions. And spiritually, we can cultivate that. That's why we come together. That's why we belong to spiritual communities and support each other, because we want to grow our roots really deep. And we have that willingness to adapt. To say that love is perennial as the grass is to affirm its external, eternal, renewing power. And Unity teaches that love is the nature of God. Who believes that? Love is the nature of God. We don't believe in a condemning, judgmental God. We believe God is love and the creating, harmonizing power of the universe, and that God is and love is the current that of the divine that moves through us. And that love, it doesn't disappear, even when we feel disillusioned, disappointed. I always think of the movie, you know what I'm going to say, A Fish Called Wanda. Who likes that movie? I love that movie. Remember when Kevin Kline gets to the, I'm not going to do the jump because I'll knock everything up. He goes to the safe and he goes, he opens up the safe, disappointed. It's like when we feel that love is still there. Even when we cannot see the shoots, the green shoots, the perennial nature of love is always there. The roots are always alive in us. And philosophers and mystics, well, across traditions and ages, have described love as the animating force of the cosmos. And it is not merely a feeling. So often we think, well, I'm in love, I'm not in love. But it's not simply a feeling. It is a principle. It's a spiritual principle, love. It is a power that transcends time and space. It is the cosmic consciousness that binds everything together. And when we align with love, each of us get to participate in that creative flow of the universe. Love is the text that arrives when you're lonely or when you're disappointed or at just the right time. Love is the neighbor who checks on you. It is the friend who checks on you and remembers your hard day that you had. It is the community that holds you in prayer. Next line. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of the youth. Spiritual adulthood doesn't sound too much fun. It's like, I want to be in spiritual teenagehood, right? No, we're in spiritual adulthood. What it does is it asks us to stop treating time as a thief, and rather as something that shapes us. Sometimes people don't celebrate their birthdays because they're like, I don't want to celebrate. I don't want to be reminded of the years. If you ever hear me talking like that, we have a cat called Benvolio, and we claim that he has that voice. So it's like channeling Benvolio, and he's a little sarcastic, Benvolio. So, but the counsel of years is the wisdom that we gain from experience. And in Unity, we see the things of youth not just as chronological age, but as a stage of spiritual development. Metaphysically, things of youth are when we search for that validation outside of ourselves from an external God that punishes or rewards, or believing that if we just pray right, we will avoid all discomfort. To gracefully surrender those things is to release habits that once helped us cope, but now just keep us small. It is to shift from trying to control everything in life. Some of us like to control a lot, and some of us just want to go with the flow, where I can tell when the controllers are. Who is a really good passenger in a car? Oh, okay, thank you for admitting it. The rest of you probably front seat drivers, and that's okay, because we all have our different gifts. It's not right or wrong at all. And Ron, which are you? I don't drive in the car when Ron's in the car. That will let you know. But spiritual maturity is letting go of the ego's need to be in control. Why do we do that? So that the Christ presence within us becomes our center. It's moving from God, do this for me, to God, Spirit, divine, whatever way you speak to God or call the Spirit, to express this through me. What do you want to express more of? Love, kindness, express this more through me. Next line, nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune. Now, this is about building that inner steadiness before anything comes at us. It's the kind that comes from knowing who we are in spirit. Now, in Unity, strength isn't about force or muscle or going to the gym, although that's helpful probably, but it is one of our 12 powers. You know the 12 powers in Unity. Strength is one of them. Our divine center doesn't get swept away when something unexpected in life happens. We've all had unexpected things, be it something small or something big in life. Sudden misfortune, it's simply the reality of living in a world that changes very quickly. And our personal lives are always constantly changing. It could be a health challenge. It could be a really deep, profound loss in our life. It could be the chaotic news cycle, or it could be any number of things. But if our peace is built on external circumstances, it's going to crumble. Spiritual strength this is really important, it isn't built in the storm. It's built in ordinary moments, like these, where we're just gathering together. So that when that storm does come in our life, whatever it is, then we can meet it with clarity, with courage, and with a sense of who we truly are. We may still crumble, but we have a community also to support. And we build that spiritual strength through meditation, through prayer, through coming to community, through reading the daily word, through any number of things, through being vulnerable and authentic. And then when that wind gets knocked out of us, we're not scrambling to find our spiritual strength. We know it is already within us. Quick check of the clock. Okay. So Jesus took time to nurture his spirit in the silence of the garden, right before the big day. He took that time. His companions fell asleep, and rather than, can't believe they're sleeping, what's up with that? He went off and connected, prayed, and prepared. Next line, but do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Oh, our minds can create amazing disaster movies. Who's really got vivid imagination? You can create all kinds of disaster scenarios going around in your mind. And you know what? That's actually a part of our imagination. And our imagination, guess what? It's another of our Unity 12 powers. It is really powerful. And when we use it to rehearse a future that we do not want, it drains our body, it drains our emotions, it drains our resources, it drains our spirit. And let's be real, We live in a time of doom scrolling. I mean, especially in the US right now, and dark imaginings, because there is a lot going on in the world. But world events aside, issues in our own lives can keep us in dark imaginings. But we are invited, every moment we get engaged in that, to choose something different, to choose where we place our attention, to shift from spiraling in the presence and move into the presence of God where we are. Now, we can't always stop the first fearful thought. We might have a fearful thought or an angry thought or whatever. We can't always stop that, but we can then choose to recognize it and decide where we're going to place our attention, if we're going to redirect our imagination toward what we do want to call forth. How much of your energy is spent rehearsing tragedies that haven't happened? Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. And sometimes we're not actually afraid. We're just exhausted or isolated, or we're stretched so thin that even small things feel enormous. And when we're tired, our perspective shrinks. Anyone find that? When you're tired, everything seems worse, right? It's like, so bad right now. And our inner resilience gets harder to access. Metaphysically, fatigue and loneliness are signs that we've drifted from our spiritual connection. I'm exhausted. Reconnect with spirit. And this is not because spirit goes anywhere, but because when we're depleted, everything inside us likes to get into our ear and say, you're on your own. You're all alone. Anyone ever had that? You're all alone in this. I'm the only one. No. Okay, good. It's always helped us to know that I'm not the only one. And that is not the truth, because that fatigue and that loneliness, it distorts reality. But when we care for our body and our heart, and we do things like nurture our spirit, then that fear loses its grip. And we remember that we're guided and never alone. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. And something that we often struggle with is balance. We know discipline and consistency matter, and that our spiritual practices only shape us if we actually practice them. But discipline without gentleness is a nagging voice telling us, you should be doing better. You're not meditating enough. You're not reading the daily word enough. You're not going to your center enough. You're not doing this enough or that enough. And all of that is just spiritual perfectionism wearing a halo. We can be so tough on ourselves, can't we? We can think a challenging time means that we're not on the spiritual path, but that is not how it works. Spirit meets us right where we are. So give yourself permission to be human. Give yourself a pat on the back. Yeah. Your soul unfolds through compassion and not through criticism. And in Unity, we don't seek to be perfect humans. We seek to realize our divine humanity. So be gentle with yourselves, beloveds. Now, here are a few takeaways for this week, things to incorporate into your life should you choose. Notice. Each day, notice where you are tempted to feign affection. Don't judge it, just notice. Oh, there I am, feigning affection again. Risk. Choose a relationship or a situation where you can be more authentic. And this might mean sharing a feeling, setting a boundary, or offering a genuine compliment instead of a superficial one. I don't know about Canadians. Maybe you're very good at giving genuine compliments. In the US, we're very good at giving artificial, like, oh, your dress is so nice. It's like, it doesn't go any deeper than that. Like give a real compliment. What a blessing you are in my life. I'm having a moment. I really feel that for all of you here. What a blessing you are in my life. Even though I don't know you, we're one family. Do one small thing each day to nurture love within yourself, in your home, in your community. And this might be a prayer. It might be a note of encouragement. It might be a text to someone. I just want to let you know how important you are to me. Someone maybe you wouldn't normally send that to. Maybe it's a moment of listening or a simple act of kindness. Let experience guide you. Do one small thing each day that reflects who you are now in this present moment, not who you used to be, who I am now. Interrupt the slide. When a dark imagining shows up, do something to shift your attention. For example, name 5 things that you see around you. Like if we were here, candle, flowers, stained glass, broken window, fan, Zoom, hello, beautiful one. All, and immediately you're not focusing on that. That works really well to do. Or count backwards from 10. Breathing deeply in between the number and say the prayer for protection. When overwhelmed, halt. Who knows what HALT stands for?
Hungry, angry, lonely, tired.
Bingo. If I had a chocolate, I would give one to you, but I don't. Or a gold star.
What does it stand for? Or Zoom?
It stands for hungry, angry, lonely, tired. So when you're feeling overwhelmed, you ask yourself, am I hungry? When did I last eat? Am I angry? Have I gone to angry onion? No, no, because that made me very happy. Am I lonely? Am I tired? And meet that need first. And your nervous system will thank you. And then the last one, choose a grounding practice, whatever you like to return to each day. For example, imagine growing from the soles, roots growing from the soles of your feet into the earth. I know Anna loves to go barefoot. I've noticed that about her. So she might stand in the ground, in the grass, and feel those roots growing, providing stability and strength. And visualize yourself in a peaceful, safe place and immerse yourself in the sensory environments of the details of that. Let us say together, I am a beloved child of God.
I am a beloved child of God.
Here to be an ambassador of good.
Here to be an ambassador of good.
I am a beloved child of God.
I am a beloved child of God.
Here to be an ambassador of good.
Here to be an ambassador of good.
And now let's see if we can do it all in one. Ready? I am a beloved child of God, here to be an ambassador of good. Yes, we are. Divine Spirit, we are so grateful for this community, for Unity Centre of Montreal. We are so grateful for Max Ehrmann's poem, Desiderata. We are so grateful for the wisdom that it imparts. We are so grateful for the blessings of this day. And as we have looked at this poem, and we may want to refresh ourselves on the week 1 or 2 or even 3 when it is posted on the YouTube site, we just ground ourselves into knowing that this poem has so much for us, metaphysically, spiritually. We are grateful for the ways in which we are being transformed and the ways in which old wounds are being released so that we can stand completely and fully in the light of our being, truly being a blessing to the planet. And so we say, as we do our collection now, and we are going to do our collection now. If not, then there is an opportunity at the back for collection. We say together, I am a joyful sharer of my good.
I am a joyful sharer of my good.
I remember that as I give,
I remember as I give,
I receive,
I receive,
and that God is my source.
and that God is my source.
Thank you, Divine Spirit, for the gifts that are given. I still haven't quite got this collection thing down here at Unity. We have a specific way of doing it at Unity of Tempe. And so we know that whoever chooses to give, gives, and also online. And we are so grateful for the blessings. We know that we prosper indeed, and we prosper absolutely, profoundly, beautifully. And so I just want to share a reminder of my office hours, Monday and Wednesday from 9 till noon. Feel free to set up a Zoom time for spiritual counseling during that time with me, or drop into the office. And I do the meditation on Zoom on Monday and Wednesday, and then we have a deep dive on Wednesday. And we're going to have some more events going on. We've had so much fun. Now, one of the events we want to do this week is Aura at the Cathedral, the Notre Dame de Basilica. And that does cost money. I think it's like $35, I think. We're thinking of going on Tuesday night and then kind of walking around and seeing Montreal in the evening. So if you are interested in doing that, let myself, Ron, even William know, and we can connect, or we'll send out an email as well. And also some other things. If you've got ideas for events for this week, let us know. Let us say together the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. It is well with my soul, and I am grateful. Let's tag on that last bit. It is well with my soul, and I am grateful. I think I did it in the right amount of time. I'm so excited.